How's it going on this Sunday today? This is JM2 with USA Crypto Group, and today we're going to be talking about the project Tayarra. So essentially, this is a technical RPG that has a look and feel of one of the Blizzard Entertainment games, Diablo. The team aims to offer both free to play and play to earn, or pay to play for more aggressive players, utilizing both initially a humans and a being structure. So if you guys could tell me a little bit about your team. I noticed that you have over 20 members, which is pretty expansive. That shows that you guys have a pretty sophisticated game and you guys are trying to go all out. So explain a little bit about your team and then what your project is about and what you guys are going for.
Yeah, so actually nowadays we are almost 40 members, big team. I think 35 to 40, depending on the art section. As I was saying previously, the art section is the biggest division of our team. Currently, we got 2 chief design officers, supervising. I'm sorry, someone has the how is it called, echo. So if you could just mute quickly. I'm not sure who is that. Maybe untrusted or guy. I think that's the one with echo. So if we could mute, would be amazing. Okay, I will continue. This is for the art section. Why such large art section? It is necessary to the supervision on the illustration and sketches towards the unified style of Tayarra. It took quite some time to really get our style that is unique and really tied to the lore. You can even see in all of the cards, ranging from common up to the legendary. You can see the stories from the lore inside that art. So we need to be very picky about artists and really supervise daily on their work. Then
Did we lose you?
Yeah, probably it happens to him.
It happens to him.
did I talk just for blind or when?
No,
when did I stop?
we could hear you, man. You stopped, so where did you stop?
Okay. I'm sorry. Don't know why. Okay, so I will move toward the marketing. We got the Alex covering the marketing with the partnership officer CBL. So let's say quite large team, and we are really dedicated toward the product, and we are keeping things professional at all. How we started, this is quite exciting story. We started like 7 months ago, when we sat down with the Molden and took our time and efforts to think about what we could do as a business. We got some experience from playing on a pro or semi-pro level, especially League of Legends. I was managing a gaming organization, and he was a tournament manager. So we want to intertwine the esport with a crypto gaming because we see a whole niche in here, and I haven't seen yet any project to be successful with the esport and making those broadcasted tournaments on a Twitch, connecting with the other gaming communities like from Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering online. If we are a card game, but with the art, we are very close, for example, to some of the famous fantasy anime games like League of Legends, Runeterra. So we want to try this, and we are very dedicated because we see a lot of potential in here.
Perfect. Are you cutting out or are you adding more? Sorry.
No. This is for the intro.
Perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure your mic didn't cut out. So that's pretty cool that you guys sound like you have quite a bit of experience from the gaming circuit, so you kind of know how the operation is run, what to do, and I guess kind of the direction you're going. I did have a question since you're not going to have the full game ready until later this year. You guys have a plan to set something up temporary where you could have card matches, kind of like what they have at the local comic shops, but online. That way, you guys can still get the interest for your product while you're building the main ecosystem.
Yeah, so as for the game, you're right that we are not gonna have the game on launch, but we want to deliver the utility side to the NFTs, really intertwined to the token itself. We plan the token for the June or July. We already are in touch with several launch pads right now, starting the venture capital negotiations. And we want to deliver with the NFTs. For example, you could see that on the ApeCoin with the base C. So we want to perform an airdrop for the NFT holders from the first editions, just to be sure that we are rewarding the earliest investors, because they are taking, of course, the highest risk towards. Then we got the raffles for the NFTs, so people will be able to win some prizes according to their NFT holdings. We want to perform crafting, where you will be able to recycle your rarities. If you got, for example, 4 cards of the same rarity, then you will be able to craft that into either NFT shard or the full card. We can talk about the process later with Ludwig, our CGO. And we want to make sure there is a connection with the community itself, and we are quite aware about branding. This is why we have our chief storytelling officer, Celia, who writes a lore story for us. And we want to learn people about the whole world of Tayarra, because why there are such lots of giants in the gaming sector, like Magic the Gathering, who are releasing yearly editions over editions, and people are buying their cards. And this is not because this is such a product. This is a community thing. They identified with the MTG, the story behind, and simply people love that. People play both globally and locally. And inside those local communities, they play like Friday Night Magic, and they know the lore. They are really aware what's ongoing with the story, and we are releasing almost weekly and a lot of our articles from our start. We released like 20 to 25 Medium articles about our cards, playstyle, and such. We want to learn people about the game of Tayarra, the world, to be sure that we are growing in community that's gonna be able, let's say, intertwine both gamers and crypto investors, collectors, because this is really the challenge to make the connection in between. And it is very hard to do, and many GameFi projects are struggling with that, because the sole investors aren't gamers, and vice versa.
No, I definitely like that idea. It's definitely pretty great way to go with that. I did have some questions, and we'll start, I guess, kind of breaking down the project. And I want to start with going with both the humans and the beings. So what's the differences between the species? I know in a lot of games, like some have magic powers, they're more offensive, and then some are more defensive, and others have strengths. So could you talk about humans, beings, what their place is in the culture of the game? And then we'll go through the 8 volumes of races and etc. for the expanse in the future. I know it's not done yet, but if you could just speak to that.
Well, for this, I maybe could handle the word for our chief gaming officer, Ludwig. Ludwig, maybe speak about the races, how we divided them, and also about the overall at whole, how we are planning to release, and about the races, humans and beings.
Sure, yeah. Hello, guys. So I'm Ludovic. I have a dog here, except for noticing that Ellen died. So about the races. So for start, we have the two races, as you mentioned, humans and beings. And in the game, they will be humans will be more focused on the board itself. Like they play more creatures, they support each other, and also their spells support like their mechanics. The beings, on the other hand, the from the game perspective, they will be more focused on spells and spell casting in a way, yeah. And from the release point of view, we will be doing editions, which will each edition will be dedicated to one race. So you will be able, if you like, for example, beings, you want to buy NFTs from odd editions, so one, third, fifth, etc. If you like humans, you want to buy NFTs from even editions, so 2, 4, 6, etc. Any other questions about them, or
Yeah, and
just
like why we divided these editions like that? Well, it is because we run into trouble with how to make the connection possible between like low investment and also being able to play the game. So people are rewarded for their fullness of the deck. The fuller the deck of each specific race, the more they are rewarded via the play to earn system. We got a tiers, and as I'm saying, the more cards from the edition or race you hold, the bigger rewards you earn. And with such a division, you will be able to pick a race and start building the deck around. So this is something like a compromise towards the investment and being able to take a part in the tier system and also learn about each specific race and to really dive deep into the race and stick with that, because we are navigating everything towards the first two competitive decks. And once we got these two competitive decks, of course, race humans and beings, then we want to release at least the beta by the time, and to be able let people play with those. So this is our thought process.
Yeah, thanks for the extra explanation on that. So now that we kind of talked about the general portions of your game, let's talk about how you guys are going to start sales and then how you're going to raise the funds to do the project. Because like I said, this is a pretty large project, and I can see that there's a lot more than just the very simple, hey, we can set this up in 5 minutes. This is going to be a legit potential like PC game from what it looks like that will have a huge following if everything is successful. So let's talk about your guys' seed and private sale. It says that that's going to be 12.5%. So I'm just wondering, what is the rate compared to pre-sale in public, and then what are the buy-ins for people?
Yeah, so at first, if you are checking the tokenomics, I must say that this is still very tentative, and we were talking about that with on the previous AMA with anti-raggers. And what we are going to change is how big portion is going to be towards the LP at start. So I want to have at least 10% at launch circulating, and we need to find a good balance in between those let's say we got that divided as a private sales. So what does that mean? That's 12.5%. I want to have 2 private sales for the venture capitals or strategic investors, of course, both with different vesting and different price. Then there will be some percentage towards the private sale for the NFT holders. And we will see if we will be able to drop some percentage towards the community private sale. But sometimes launchpads have issue with those private sales, so I would stick only towards the NFT holders. Then we need to find a balance with a percentage dedicated towards the public presale or launchpads. I want to hire that up towards like 12 or 15%, maybe more, we will see. But the idea is to balance the vestings and the TGE drop from the launchpads at launch. So we will be under vesting, but the vesting won't hurt the coin, because if you overdo the vesting or the percentage supply for the venture capitals with the private sales, then once they will start earning their vestings after some cliff, the coin just dumps all the time, because their prices were better compared to the public or even the private for the NFT holders or so. So we need to find a good balance between the portion for the launchpads, portion for the private sale, and portion for the LP at start. This is very difficult, and we will need a lot of communication in between the launchpads. Currently, we are speaking with few of them, like Gempad, DGEM, just smaller ones. But right now, once or when we are growing, we will approach launchpads like Oxpool, GameFi, CDFi, LaunchZone, and we want to bring 3 or let's say 3 to 5 launchpads on board. Let's say 3 smaller ones and 2 bigger. Split the races to get access for those reputable communities, but also not to overdo it with the total race. The total race should be correlated with the launch market cap. And I think we want to do market cap something, or the launch market cap something in between 120k to 180k. For example, the Crypto Blades skill had the market cap or launch market cap around 140k, and they did very well, but also it was in different time with different market settings. So we will see how the market will go. But in general, we do not have such a big race and then just be dumping on launch, do something. It's better to do some X's and market it around than just raise stupid amounts and dump forever.
Okay, so if I'm hearing right, that was about 10 to 15% difference between the seed, private, and public pre-sale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but in general, there will be a big portion towards the staking and rewards. We want to I don't want to overdo the staking with something like so-called trends with the Libero or Tizano high APR staking, but at the same time, the DeFi is very popular with the staking, and I was thinking about how to not overcomplicate things and bring these high APRs towards the holders. So I had the idea of mystery pools, where there will be like 5 pools ranging from average APR towards like really high APR, but of course with limited seats for each particular APR section, and people will be staken by random. They will never know where they will end up. It'll be based on the random logic. but I won't have that's elements of the high APR and people being able to get into those pools. So this is why such a big portion towards that's taken. Then if I open up the tokenomics, just give me a minute. Yeah, we got the 15% for the team. I want to lower that for at least 5% and give that 5% towards the exchanges. Exchanges in general, it is for both DEXs and SEXs, but it is important to have some portion of the tokens towards the initial LP and both towards the LP for the exchanges. Yeah, so we will lower the team, and then we got the marketing, of course. Launchpads public. I think we talked about almost everything. Well, NFT airdrop, yes, as I was saying, we will perform the airdrop towards the NFT holders, and so we got a little portion for the legal part, as we are currently dealing with a lot of legal stuff, like ranging from the copyrights with the artists up to all the legal needs to run the company. So a little portion towards that. But in general, as I'm saying, very tentative. But as we are going through the process of negotiating and discussing over, the idea is to have a right balance between the launchpad part, private part, and the starting liquidity and circulating supply.
Yeah, I think the liquidity, kind of like what you said, the circulating supply is going to be huge for you because it is going to be a very expensive project. So it's good you guys are thinking about that. One more thing about the seed private versus pre-sale public, I would highly suggest flipping those, getting a smaller percent. I understand you guys need the base floor funding, but it makes it really hard for a pre-sale or a public person to come in when there's a larger supply of the previous where they have discounts. So that's something that I look for, but hopefully you guys can figure out how to get the funds the appropriate way. But I'm glad you touched on the airdrop though, because that was my next question, the 2.5%. So that's strictly NFTs getting delivered to everybody then?
Yes, based on the weight of their NFTs. Currently, our contract of the NFT is gonna be set, or each NFT gonna be endowed with a particular weight. So, for example, the legendary card gonna be 28 times more weighted than rare card. The legendary is, for example, 900 weights, and the common is just 1. So I want to have that rarity aspect inside, and basically the bigger your holding of the NFTs weighted by these points, the bigger portion you should get.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of the next part I was going to get to, is the 50 cards needed per playing deck, and then just kind of talk about what's different about the cards. So you just talked about the rarity and the borders. So the borders do play a role in them with, like you said, the rarity. But there's other things to look at in them. So there was 7 different portions on the entity card. Can you break those down and explain why they're important to the user?
7 portions of what? Can you repeat, please?
Of the cards for the entities. So it looks like the characters. So like you have the number 2 on the bottom left, a 2 on the right. So you have like a mana portion, and I think spells. Can you break it down? That has the person's name and description.
Mechanic. You mean the gameplay mechanic of entities, right?
Yeah, the NFT cards. Yep.
Okay. So, for example, it's similar as the creatures in Magic the Gathering. So entities are the stuff you just play on board. You attack enemies with them, and the left number is left down corner. It's attack. It's on the web page, the number in the blood is their health. They usually have some ability, for example, when they enter the battlefield or when they just think they have some permanent ability. The number on the left, in the left top corner, is their mana cost, so how much mana you need to spend to play the card on the board. In the race means that now there are two races, humans and beings, so you can play only humans and in human deck and beings in beings deck, and the car or the border, it shows the rarity, so from common to legendary.
Awesome. I like that. So is there any way that you guys can get on to the screen to do a screen share so people can see the amount of skills that you guys put into some of this, the characters and the different things? I just want you guys to really showcase your product because it is pretty cool. And like you said, you're paying real artists to do this. So it's not just like a cheap, flimsy drawing that a 2-year-old can do. This is a real product.
Yeah, Maldon, could you start screen sharing and showcasing the art or what you have prepared?
Yeah, so I was going through the stats and what's required for the deck. So it said 19 to 22 mana, and that's basically going to be the energy for your characters, I'm assuming. And then you need 6 buildings, 10 spells, and then you're going to need 15 entities and 3 titans.
I mean,
correct?
That is not
For a deck?
required because, for example, titans are higher rarity, so not everybody will be able to afford them. That's just a recommendation to get the strongest deck you can or something like that. But for example, with the mana, you really need a lot of them because that's like the key piece to be able to play anything else. So if you don't have any mana, you won't be able to play your cards. But yeah, Meldon is showing some of the art right now. These cards are the entities, what he's showing right now. The evolving of the King Aaron. He just showed from common to legendary. Yeah, this Corinne, she's Ghost, but if you want to know how she turned into Ghost, you can read the lore. It's also on our web page.
Perfect. And then can you explain the item at the top center of the card and what that means for the users if they were to select an NFT or randomly generate one?
Yeah, the logo, the top center, that's the race mark. So, for example, this is for beings. So everything which is for beings will have this logo in their frame. And on the right, you have King Aaron. He is a human, so you have a different logo. And the color of the logo will show the rarity. So now you can see that these two are legendaries. Now the King Aaron, this is mythic. Rare, that's the blue one. Uncommon, and common.
Perfect. And then with your guys' spells, are you going to have cards for that as well that are specific? And then how much mana do you need to use each spell?
Yes. For example, now we are Meldon is showing the curse spell, which is a spell for the beings, and it's it depends on, like, the mana cost of the spell will depend, of course, on what it does, how strong it is. So you will need more mana to play better spells and stuff like that. So it's not like every spell will cost the same. The same works for beings and buildings and stuff like that. Like every card will have their own mana cost, and you will have to decide if you want to put it there or not, based if, for example, it fits your mana curve, stuff like that. So here Meldon is showcasing the Fireball spell also for beings.
I really like the illustrations. It definitely kind of opens up expansion to the storyline, so it's really cool. With that, I would like to talk about how you guys do your card packs. And one thing that I thought was really cool, because you mentioned that not everybody's going to be able to afford to do the tournament style play. So I want you to kind of discuss a little bit about the free to play option. So it is free, but you have to buy a starter pack, but you made it where it was more affordable for the average user to get in there, see if they like the game and kind of get down and dirty with it, but eventually build a pack that's strong enough to do the competitions and player versus player.
Yeah, so at first, we are really advised to pick the race. If you pick the race, then basically you can right now discrete half of the additions and really buy towards your deck. Why you should build a deck? Well, it is incentivized with the tier system. We got 4 tiers, and as I'm saying, once you pay the entrance fee, the higher or the fuller the deck is, the more rewarded you are if you win. This is very key towards the PvP and, let's say, building of the decks and having the play to earn playstyle balanced. Players that do not own full deck will be able to borrow the NFTs, but only common NFTs. So really, we want to keep the collectors and deck builders rewarded. So once the people will start playing even without the full deck, they will be able only to borrow the common. The free to play, you will just simply enter with a very simple deck, and this deck won't be able to, of course, enter the PvPs. This is gonna be just a different mode than the PvP. For the PvP, players will earn points and be applied towards the leaderboards. We will incentivize the top players with some kind of rewards also. So we really need to discrete those game modes, but at the same time, to have that aspect of being able to play free to play, to be able to play competitively. And another thing is the tournaments itself. We want to perform at first, I think, monthly tournaments that's gonna be broadcasted and commented on a Twitch. I think Molden can showcase some photos from the studio that we were using in our past for we organize the CS:GO tournaments, and we simply can organize a tournament on any kind of game we want. But what's important that Molden knows the founder of the studio. It is very close to where we live, so we got the experience inside. There is professional staff, and we will be able to perform like a really high class tournaments. That's why we are, or we want to try to integrate the esport into the crypto gaming because this is what's locking, and this connection is needed to simply go mainstream. And this could be also another point that could help us with the uniqueness as a pioneers who will be or trying to push really the esport in to the crypto, because it's right now it's very hard. Simply the games lacks the effort to make this connection, to intertwine the communities, but also a lot of these games lacks aspects to be able to comment on, to be able to really let's say realize those tournaments on some decent level of to be simple and entertaining for the viewers. A lot of these games are only play to earn focused, but this is not we would love to focus on. We will have the play to earn aspect as we are trying to integrate the communities, but this is not the main point for the product that we want to present.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I've noticed that a lot of the big tournaments, kind of like what you said, have a studio set up where it's not just seeing what the players are doing, but you have the broadcaster. So I think that's awesome. That adds a lot of hype, and it also breaks the game down for the newer players so they can get into the ecosystem and say, hey, I have a part in this. These are some really cool strategies. These are how I could play the cards, because it's kind of intimidating for newer people to enter. So I think that's vital, and that's a really cool marketing strategy as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying it's very hard to intertwine these communities because those are gamers, and we got crypto investors, we got NFT collectors. We need to learn these people about how to really go through all the process of learning and trying to push things all together, because what matter is the community. And if people will feel well inside the community and they will feel strongly about Tayarra, about the story, about the cards they get, the excitement of opening, then we will be successful. But it's a lot of work, and we need to perform.
Yeah, with what you guys have with the baseline, I think that eventually, if it takes off, you guys won't have to worry about the tokenomics because it's more utility based. So I like that aspect of your project as well. But so we talked a little bit about the spells, the mana, and your characters. So I'd like to talk about the buildings in the game and what their role is. Are they a place where you can stay to get health? Is it somewhere where you could set traps for your opponents? What's the role of the building in the game? Or is it kind of like a backdrop mat that you play against?
The buildings in general, will be like permanent. They will give you some permanent buff. You will have special type of source, which also like your mana cards will give you. They are giving two types of sources. One is mana, which is oh, was
We
I
just lost you again.
was I
Yeah,
muted
like
there? Or?
you were talking about the mana last.
Yeah. Okay. So there are two types of mana. One for playing your spells, entities, titans, and the second type is for playing buildings and leveling them up. They will give you some permanent buff, and yeah, that's most about the buildings. So, for example, for the humans, it will give you some bonus stats. For the beings, it can give some cheaper spells or something like that.
Perfect. I appreciate that. And then the buildings and locations are kind of hand in hand, or are those two different things? Is that like different territories? Maybe you're in a being's territory where they have extra attack stats, or maybe the humans ones where there's better defense or something like that?
they will go like hand in hand. Like their style, like their function in the game will be essentially the same. Just we just wanted to make it interesting to that you during the game uh, you can like travel between the worlds. Like you are there, you are there. So, but in the gameplay sense, they were the same.
So is this website available for all members to start going and buying NFTs, or is that going to be at a later date? Are you still manufacturing them?
Currently, we are heading our first seed NFT sale towards the end of April. I think 28 April gonna be the date when we will be releasing the seed NFT edition. Maybe we could showcase a bit from the development of our reveal site. We will never know which kind of NFT you will be buying into. At first, for the first edition, we will be doing only one card available purchase, because we got a lot of investors waiting and we want to be fair towards the buyers. Also, the first NFT edition gonna be endowed with the NFT airdrop, so we want to really let people buy and to have everybody a chance to get some of the NFTs. Per edition, we will mint only 1,250 NFTs. The price gonna be 46 USD for the first round for the whitelist buyers, and $40 per mint for the public round afterwards. I'm right now navigating towards our Discord to show you some pictures from the site. We are preparing for the post reveal, so just a minute. Should get done. Like it is really under the development. But before the end of April, it should be really fire. And so far it's looking really good. I'm right now posting that inside the chat. So this is from the post reveal site. Of course, you will be able to connect with your MetaMask. We will deploy on Galera.io. So you will buy these on Galera.io, then connect to our post reveal site, and you will just simply click on connect to your MetaMask, and the cards will be open afterwards. This is just really very early into the depth of ours. We want to develop animations with the opening, and also we will be adding the 5, 10, and 15 packs for another editions. So this is just only to give you an idea how it's gonna be looking by the end of April, once we will deploy the NFTs on the Galera. The goal in mind, we have Binance NFTs, but from what I was scouting, we need to bring on the community first, and at like 3 or 4K Telegram members, I will be applying for the listing on Binance NFTs. So this is our goal, but for now we chose the Galera.io as a good option to deploy the NFTs through.
Yeah, those are looking great. I definitely like that. I did have a question though about the NFTs. I'm trying to remember. You're going over a lot of material, kind of sidetracked me. So with the NFTs, are you able to buy singles, or are you going to go through the packs? Because I saw that there's a different discount for 5 cards, 10 cards.
Yeah,
Can you explain how people are going to do that?
This gonna be available from the edition 2. So the edition 1 that we will going to be releasing by the end of April, you will be able to buy only single single cards. And as I'm saying, why? Because if there was, or let's do the math. If we stick with the packs, then there would be only about 150 packs available to buy. So only a little people will be able to actually buy in. Then we were thinking, what about to make it like a single drop to let more people buy in and to be able to participate on the NFT airdrop. So that's the idea why we chose the solo mint at first. We know that maybe this will lessen the sales, but I think we will sell out anyway. But I want to be fair towards all the buyers. And for example, if we deploy it on some particular hour, then the other time zones would be not be able to buy that because they were all sleeping. So this is a step towards everybody, and I think you will be able to get a chance to buy one of these. Then from the second edition, we will be doing the packs.
Okay, so you said around $40 a card then for NFT?
Yes. For the whitelist round, the price will be discounted for 36. Then for the public round, $40.
Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at the math and kind of breaking it down for people. So at $40 an NFT to get a full deck of cards, if that's your prerogative or your line of going to play the game, that's going to be around $2,000, correct?
Actually, Ludwig could talk about the minimum price, what's needed to enter the PvP.
Yeah, the 2000 for full deck is correct if you don't go through like any discounts, like for example the whitelist one, or for example the bigger packs are slightly cheaper. Like yeah, like the 15 card pack won't be the full 600 dollars, but just like 580. So yeah, but if you take it like that, then the full 50 card deck will cost around $2,000. But to be able to play the PvP based on the tier, you need just 10% of your deck to own. So like to participate in the PvP, you need to invest $200. You need 5 cards.
Okay, perfect. I really appreciate that breakdown because I wasn't sure how that worked or if you actually needed 50 cards to play. I know different card games have different rules, so I appreciate that. So with the player versus player tournaments in the ecosystem, are you guys planning on making things where you can, I guess, battle or duel per species? And what I mean by that is, can you have teams of 2-3 people on either side of the table, maybe 2 or 3 different players on the humans and then 2 or 3 on the beings, where you can have larger battles, share stats with your teammates, or is this going to be a one-on-one kind of game?
Yeah, like if you watch the Magic the Gathering, there is a lot of popular modes of the game, but at first I would love to stick towards all the milestones we got, and at first to try to make the best of the competitive nature of the Tayarra to really showcase through the broadcasting on the Twitch, or maybe if we will be able to, then partner with other streaming platforms. There is also crypto like Cheetah TV or so. But I would be rather focused at first on bringing the esport out and then adding the modes. We need to at first be sure that players are playing at competitive level indeed, because if we will have a limited player base at first, we need to learn them how to play the game, and they will need to learn how to play the game. Maybe we will be just watching the growth, and really players will be able to recreate their strategies to focus on something they see as a powerful. So we need to be sure about balancing. That leads me to let's make the PvP and tournaments all self-sufficient and really on some decent level, then focus on adding the modes. But yeah, it is possible we will be adding the modes, but we need to be sure about the current ones and also about the player base. So it's the math that we need to check at first.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. You guys are thinking long term with, like you said, getting the correct player levels. That way you're not just getting someone in there that's going to get wrecked because they don't know how to play the game. And then it's also important, kind of like what you're talking about with the mathematics and making sure that you don't have any cards that are overpowered for the rest of the game where people are playing those. But I did see that you have the max of 3 cards that are duplicated for each deck. So that's kind of one of those equalizers, I guess. So that's pretty cool. So since we talked about the player versus player and the tournaments, let's talk about the raffles and why that's important for your game.
Yeah, so the raffles are like added benefit to holding the NFTs. I want to stick with the rarity side of the NFTs we got. So basically, the rarer the card you have, the more tickets for the raffles you will be able to get per wallet. We are thinking a lot about how to make the rare cards rare, and it is not enough to make those rare cards like artificially like high art or some kind of really empowered ones. No, we need to back the rarity with the correct utility. So this is why, for example, the rarer the card you get, the more percentage from the airdrop in total you should get. Also with the raffles, the rarer card you hold, the more tickets you should get. Why it's important? Well, you will be able to earn something for the NFTs at first. I'm calling that as something like counterpart towards the staking of the NFTs, because if we've done the staking for the NFTs, well, the rewards right now without the token would be really low, and with this in mind, with the raffles, we will be able to dedicate the percentage of the sale and basically get back towards the holders or buyers. Simply recyclate all of the funds without necessary the staking point. Because if the rewards was really low, then it makes no sense for me. We need the token with that. But with raffles, people will be able to earn either the prices of the stable coins or the packs. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. I was going to ask about that too, between the stablecoin and the NFT buyback. Do members get to select that, or is it chosen in random for the raffle?
It will be chosen in random, really. So there will be like sheets where you will be able to check the total weights, and according to the total weight, the ticket's gonna be going towards the raffle. Then, of course, winners picked.
Okay, and then I did have a question about the weights, because that was one of the things on the white paper. So it said that the weights are going to be halved, so cut in half from whatever's in the member's deck. So what does that mean exactly? Does that mean that if you have, let's say, like all legendaries, you get half of that potentially for an NFT, where it's like an uncommon or just a rare?
each NFT edition, or after the sale of the NFT edition, there's gonna be a raffle. So at first, the first edition ever will be based only by the rarity of the cards itself. But we are thinking how to make these cards and reward the early buyers more. So for the next edition raffle, you will be able to earn from those cards you were holding from the edition in like the previous edition, but only by half. So you will be able to get half of these tickets towards the next raffle, but not to overpower only half. Then for the third edition, these cards from the edition 1 are gonna be or the tickets from the cards of the edition 1 gonna be split again. So for the third edition raffle, you will be earning 25% from those, and this is going like for the next and next. So basically, the for the raffles, the earlier you buy, the more rare it is towards the raffles, I would say, or more valuable.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to kind of break that down for my own knowledge, and then see if we can get that explained for the community too. Okay. So I think that about covers raffles. That's a really cool idea. It's a good way to engage the community and just kind of keep them interested in what's going on with the project. So with the raffles, I guess one more final thought on that. If you're doing that, are you planning on, I guess, slow dripping new characters through the raffle system to create additional hype?
Well, I think we would rather stick with the settings that are set towards the editions, because it is really counted towards the series and decks of each particular race. Then we need to stick with the release schedule. And this is also because of the management for the art section and edition volume management, you know. So it may be possible, but we need to keep in touch with the releases for the editions. We counted the total released NFTs per edition based on the mass expectation of the player base once we will have the game out. So we made some math calculations, and we are sticking to that in order to be able to deliver both of the packs, and at the same time remain the quality over quantity simply.
Yeah, no, my intent wasn't to say just keep on throwing new random characters, but as your game expands and people start buying into it, it might just be a cool idea to say, hey, we're getting ready for the next expansion pack, and today we're going to be releasing one ultra rare character. Like I said, it just builds it builds the hype, and everybody's like, oh shit, I really want to, you're going to have more sales because people want to get in and try and get that. So that might be a cool idea to kind of get people on board. But
actually taking notes, like from some of the AMAs, we learned a lot. Like the last AMA was really dedicated towards the tokenomics and such. We are learning through each AMA, so appreciate the comments on.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to go into the crafting section. I thought this was a really cool idea because people are getting used to games where they just get everything for free, and it always 100% works. But for you guys, you created a system where you might have 4 common cards, but you can merge those through the crafting. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Can you explain the percentages and how that works?
Yeah, sure. So the idea behind it is that actually that you have maximum of 3 copies of one card or in your deck. So if you from a pack get unlucky, or you can call it lucky, that you get more copies of one card. So for example, like 4 or 5, you can try to merge them and you to get a higher rarity. So like for now, the percentages are still like tentative, and we will see how many players and how it works. But essentially, it should have like 3 options. For now, it's if you want to match 3 cards which have the least chance to be successful, 4 or 5. If you are going to merge 5 cards into the higher rarity, you are guaranteed to not lose them. But you can either get the full card immediately, the full NFT card, or you can get a shard, which then you have to stake for some amount of time. It's in matter of weeks, maybe a month, and then you get the higher rarity card from it. So like that, if you get more of the same cards and you don't have the use for them in your deck because it's too many of them, then you can merge them or craft them into a better one.
Yeah, I thought the concept was really cool, especially since it's kind of taken staged your gameplay in an older time. So it's kind of like you're forging, which is a pretty interesting concept. So the shard that you were talking about, it does talk about staking. I didn't see a ton of information on staking on your page. I could have just potentially passed it over, but when you're staking the character, will there be any other rewards, or is it a straight staking to build that character card to forge it, I guess?
Yeah, at first, as I'm saying, I took the time to think about the process of staking and the reverse, and since we got no token launched yet, then the staking at first will be tied to the utility with the crafting and tag towards the next level rarity, simply to let people and holders play with their cards. Then once we launch the token, we want to perform the mystery pool staking. And with the time passes, I think we will add the staking with the NFTs as well. But for that, we need the token and the cliff for the vesting going off. So that will be, I think, 2 months after the token release. Then we will be able to use the rewards from the supply towards the staking. This is why we got like a little information on, because we are very early, well, right now the product focus is the NFTs, and the token is just going to come up like in a month or 2. Really, we planned it on June or July. Well, also depends on the market conditions, since it is possible that the Bitcoin are going to behave and launching in some, let's say, bloodbath. It's not a good idea. So we need to take a step back, and for now we need to stabilize the company, since we are quite large team. So I'm looking for multiple sources of income at first, and to be able to showcase a bit of the product. Well, and the NFTs are a perfect medium to learn the partners, the strategic ones like the Launchpad and so on, that we are capable of doing professional stuff. and at the same time to be able to get some sort of self-sufficiency without necessarily launching the token right away and then get just dumped because both lack of the utility and the market sentiments.
Yeah, it's definitely smart to be thinking about that. Like you said, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 BNB. If it's worth $5, it's not going to get you very far. So that's pretty strategic thinking on your part. To get back to the shard, though, I think there's a lot of potential in that, because if you can merge regular cards, do you have any plans on merging shards? And then since you have two different the humans and the beings, I know this is a far out thought, but have you thought about merging the shards to create a hybrid character and maybe a species for that in the future? Because I know a lot of the games, they have that kind of where the species intermix, and then it makes a pretty cool other species that you can go and fight and kill and all that fun stuff.
The thought about the shards is to get the same card as you are merging, but with higher rarity. So we haven't thought about it in a way that you would be able to like merge them into different character or even different race.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of all over the place. There's just a lot of potential in the project, so I just wanted to see what you guys were thinking, or if you had any plans for that.
Yeah, like we can always build, but at the first time we need to build a strong base. So as I'm saying, people are asking us about a lot of things, but I'm always saying, at first deliver, achieve the milestone, secure the long-term vision or self-sufficiency, then we can play around. But this needs to be backed by team that is quite large, that is managed well, and we know now like how hard it is to secure some sort of level of a let's say professional behavior, both from the like I can compare or relate to the art section. It takes a time to build a good team, to have reliable and motivated people, and we want to applicate that towards all of these sections. So it is not only building the product, but it is also about building a team of people that's going to be able to cooperate in between the divisions and to deliver. So you got that. We need to build first, then we can play around.
Definitely. So I guess I'll leave you with one final thing before we open up to the community. I think for your guys' growth and expansion, I really like the fact that you're hitting those NFTs hard, kind of as the initial ground floor funding. But I would highly suggest that you guys set up like a player's mat. My son's really into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and they have the player mat where it kind of sets the stage for the game. But to have something like that along with your potential for broadcasting live games, because even if you don't have your full gameplay, having a card flip digitally or in local comic shops, I think is really going to get the word of mouth around for you guys. And that's going to be huge for your expansion.
Yeah, actually we were thinking about also rewarding the holders of the legendaries with an 3D printed like little characters, or for example, if you got legendary Corin, then you will be able to get either these 3D guys, or also we were thinking about making the art, but not like the only in the digital way, but so that we would deliver the art like framed towards the holder. Also with our site for the merch, especially Meldon were crazy about it, but I'm saying we got a lot of stuff to do for now, but it would be a great way to bring something more. And if there will be a community that likes the concept, then there will be a buyers. So yes, this is a great idea. And for example, like if we are seeing the MTG, Hearthstone, League of Legends, all of these games have merged. So once we will go a little higher with the numbers on the socials and be recognized by people and gamers, then we will be able to deliver such merch, and people will be happy about buying such items. So that's a good idea.
Perfect. Well, I think that's about it for my questions for right now. So let's open it up to the community for voice chat questions. Then I'm going to go through the announcement channel and see if we have additional questions where people are more likely to write versus talk on the mic. The mic is open for anybody that has questions, so feel free to ask the team.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just want to know, like, I want to know, is the game like, I want to know how possible it is in the game for someone to not cheat?
Do not cheat. Well, Ludovic, I think
I mean,
cheating
it
will be
will.
very, yeah.
Yeah, cheating will be like impossible. It's like regular game with rules, and it will be in the computer. So like the computer will, like, it's computer game, so it will check if like you can do it or you are not able to do it or stuff like that. So I think there will be no cheating in the game.
Okay, yeah, I'm also curious. I'm also curious to know how will you implement your marketing strategy to attract more gamers to Tayarra?
Yeah, like as I'm saying, our target audience is based with the NFT collectors, crypto investors, and gamers. So we got a whole different words. We need to learn about Tayarra and try to integrate on a mutual level. For us, for the gamers, will be really key to integrate on a community level with other games, and via, for example, famous streamers, YouTubers. For example, we could try to get on board some of them to open back of ours. It is like not possible to get shout like you are like you can see here in crypto, that you will simply pay for an ad and they will make a call about you. No, this is not how it works in esport, and you need to show like a quality product, and then they will make an honest review if they want to partner or be good with a relationship towards our team. So for the gamers, it will be really important to connect on these with these communities on a mutual level. And for the crypto investors, we are right now building the strong base via the smart marketing, like AMAS, interacting with other communities, because everybody or everyone can pay for a YouTube videos, but a lot of those YouTube videos are generic. They are not even going through all the main points of the project, just reading the script or the website. but we prefer to put ourselves into such conversation like in here with the USA Crypto Group, to talk about project, to interact, to have a talk with the moderator. We are learning through that. And as I'm saying, we had this is our 7th AMA. Next week we are going to have AMA with Caesar's Call, and maybe even more one more AMA. So I want to rather speak with a community about the project than just get a regular call, because the call means pump and dump, not interested investors into a project. But I want to build a community that are actually learned about the project, that knows something behind, and they are identified with the key vision we got. So we are not doing some crazy marketing on YouTube or stuff. We rather prefer to interact with communities and talk about, to try to learn, and this is the key aspect.
Okay, thank you. So also regarding the safety and security of your platform, what security features do you have? What will I say? What guarantee can you tell or give to the investors that it is very safe to invest in your project?
Yeah, this is very key question again, because me or co-founder, then we are not tech related. We got our CTO who is taking care for 2 wings of the developers. The first wing for the crypto smart contracts, and second wing, well, basically three wings. One also for the web design, and the third wing is for the game itself. So at the mutual level, our idea was to hire a developer that is that we know in real life, that is reputable, and that can take care of such a teams. So our CTO, we know in real life, we are having regular meetings. This will secure that there is a very lesson or non-existent internal threat towards the funds of investors or whatever. The external threat, like the hack or maybe some flaws in the contract, well, we want to pick quality people and to supervise over them. So that's why we got a strong leading chief technical officer, and we want to be sure that he will be picking people once we will be enlarging the team, that's the devs gonna be also reputable and doing quality work. But at most, we are also using, for example, for the passwords, things like KeyPass to keep them safe, and we use Google Cloud for the security. So once we are using the Google Cloud, it is mostly possible that our contracts won't get hacked. The CTO worked for our leading banks here in Czech Republic, so I think it was a good choice.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And lastly, I want to know, most projects only rely on community hypes and sentiment. So, what strategy do you have to sit in a sustainable growth in any market condition? Let's say any market condition, such as a downtrend, or when there will be no community hype.
Yeah. Well, simply, we need a good strategy for the funding in overall. For example, right now we are paying for 7 months everything from our pocket, so we are very strict about what we are paying for. We are very strict about hiring ethics and how onboarding works. Then we need to have we need to be self-sufficient. That's why we are looking for multiple sources of income. Either these are NFTs or once we will have some races on the launch pads, and then via the tokenomics of taxes. So, for example, there will be some person dedicated towards the development. So the more sources of income we can get, the more stable we will be as a company to be able to perform even in markets that are not favoring. But as you are saying, if the community is not hyped, if the community is, you need to discrete holders and opportunists. Currently, there is a lot of rather opportunists than real holders in the market, and to get these real holders, supporters, investors, we need to stay in touch in the midst of the top-down process. So we need to communicate the progress via, for example, weekly recaps with the articles. We released the weekly recap yesterday, so everyone in the community is able to see the process, the progress in all of the sections of Tayarra. We are really active, and it is key to stay active with the community, because otherwise any kind of project like us won't be successful.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Well answered. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we have some typed out questions here. So this one's from Heart Attack. The biggest problem in non-crypto gaming projects for blockchain games is that the initial cost of wanting to play is huge. So they're asking, how can Tayarra make this free of charge, which we covered in there, the free-to-play option. And it says, then can I rent NFTs from other players to play?
We were not thinking about renting from the other players, but rather making the possibility of borrowing, or you are not having a full deck, but to able to play, you need a full deck. So the rest of the cards you do not own, you are borrowing, and these cards are only common rarity to not overpower the collection over other player, and to make the balance in the deck building and PvP. Also the fairness, of course.
And then for the free to play, the starter pack, that's essentially going to be a story mode, correct?
I think it is highly possible, like that. Yes, of course. Some themed. We want to have some themed cinematics being released in the next month. So, for example, if you know some League of Legends cinematics, I was really into making some of with our own characters and such, because it is a strong, let's say, the more we can show visually.
Kind of like the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. With the storyline, the more the community can learn and identify with the brand or the project.
Yeah, I think that's definitely getting into a stage of getting people more involved, so it's a really good idea. So we have another question from Suna. It says, Tyra promotes game incubation and distribution. How will this initiative help create a blockchain gaming financial system, making games not only interesting and fun, but also profitable? What are the requirements to be part of the team?
So these are two separate questions, right? The first is for the economics part, and to be able to be part of the team.
I said that wrong though. That was not necessarily part of the team, but part of the ecosystem, the game. Tayarra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is all intertwined with a good thought product. Just with the start of the NFTs, we needed to take a step back and think with perspective how to intertwine the utility with the rarity. So we need to secure that the artwork isn't the main selling point, but there is also the utility tied to those NFTs, and those actually securing the price itself. So, for example, if you got the legendary, it is just very, very scarce that there will be only one legendary inside the whole edition. So these NFTs are endowed with the most weights. Then you can either use that information or fact that these are the most valuables with the raffles, with the also with the NFT airdrop and such. So the NFTs rarity are correlated towards the utility, and basically this is all about intertwining the DeFi, NFTs, gamify, and esport into one coherent thing under the roof of Tayarra. So we need to review all of these aspects, really check that in our milestones, and if we will be able to really make it into the esport and intertwine those communities, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be profitable, both from the standing point of view, and we are looking to reward the early investors as they are taking the highest risk.
Perfect. Thank you for that breakdown. I did want to go to the next question from Giant Black. It says, one of the main problems facing the NFT enthusiasts is the increasing valuation of the NFT market. So how is the price determined for NFTs in Tayarra, and how is the overstimulation problem solved? So basically, how do you guys create a stable NFT price where it's not going to get too excessive? I understand that on your ecosystem, there's a flat price, but let's say on like OpenSea, I know you can't control that trade value, but how do you prevent people from overselling and gouging people for something that they might want?
We need to scout the demands and the player base. We cannot afford to have like really limited collections, or like limit people in buying such packs, but we need to correlate that with a demand. Why is that? Because we want to have the players playing, not just collecting. And if we stuck, for example, to some amounts of these NFTs, then the price, of course, would be really high. But we need to allow players to collect all of the different cards for the races. Then we need to deliver more and more additions towards the competitive decks. Each edition for humans, for example, or any other race, gonna be consisted with 24 different cards. And for another edition, another 24 different cards. So simply, you will be able to buy only some of these editions and make the full deck. But in general, this is a game, not only collectible item endowed with some utility or such. We need to deliver the cards to players and and let that cards be unique and cover the rarity also.
Yeah, so I think the concern with this member is potentially that, yes, you will have people that play the game, and then there's going to be people who buy into the game strictly based on what they believe the success rate will be. So I think their question's more in line with, how do you get the investor person who gets that ultra rare, super special card, who is like, hey, I can make $1 off this? How do you get them to work within the ecosystem where they're not overcharging something? Because there's only going to be so many of them. So if all of them are dueled out and there's a really high level tournament player that maybe wants the card, it might have cost him $40, but he can say, yeah, $4,000 and this card's yours.
Yeah, but you need to reward the collectors at the same time. So yes, there will be really strong legendary cards of the rarity, only one legendary per edition. But it is I don't think there will be a problem in collecting and making a powerful deck. Of course, there will be a legendary that's gonna be powerful, but we also need that marketing aspect of having like a high value card. It is very niche in the NFT market, and if we were doing only the cards with the same price and not regulate with the rarity system, then we could be stuck in selling those NFTs. And it is very hard to convince people to buy this early if we got no token out yet. If we got no game out yet, yes, we will be having like a demo out I think by next month, and a board showcase. But at the same time, we need to think like an investor. So this is why we are rewarding early investors, incentivizing through the rarity system, incentivizing through the raffles. It needs to be coherent product, and I don't think this is a problem to have one card that is very scarce and pricey. I don't think this is a problem.
No, I definitely agree with that. I was just kind of trying to give you from a player's perspective, I guess. So the other half of that question is, have you created your own Oracle system for estimating NFT value? So you do have the $40 per card, but let's say you do have those legendaries with all the characteristics of that card. Do you have hey, this one might have cost you $40, but it's actually worth $100? Do you have a system to stabilize the rarity and the value for the members?
Well, as it is open market, and also the market sentiments change over time, then we need to rely on the demand and vice versa on the marketplace. We could estimate that according to this and that, it could be valued like this, but it all correlates with the people willing or not so willing to buy. So this is very hard to calculate right now. We need to make some like a pilotage through the market and see how the NFTs are performing, and then we could either regulate or change the prices. But as we are just in front of the first edition and the edition sale, we got only a little and limited data over. So right now I can't really talk with 100% perspective, but of course we will take a look and take notes about. So we will be watching over the price, but right now we are very early. So if you got me, it is hard to really work without data.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. So that kind of leads into the next question, which plays similar in what the member is asking. So this is from Dario Cortez. How can I buy a limited rare NFT? Do you have an option to buy the higher level NFTs? And that's where that initial dollar amount's really going to come into play. So if you have a $40 base, you know that even your commons are at least $40 in value. So maybe an uncommon would be 60, 70, and then your legendary would be like 100, 120. But I think that's where it starts getting more important. So can you buy limited rares? And then how can you buy game items without owning previous levels? Do you have to level up, is what the member is asking? Or can you just buy and then you have a higher level for that member, or that card, sorry?
Yeah, so you need to watch the rarities and how they are accessible via multiple perspective. The first, you can earn higher rarity via crafting. Secondly, via opening the packs or the maintenance and play. And third, you can actually buy and sell the card via marketplace. Either at first, at start, it is Gallery.io, or then if you list on Binance NFTs, then for example on that site. Yes, so you have multiple ways to purchase those cards, and it always depend on people and how they see the price. So I believe that once we will be getting close, for example, toward the token launch, then these NFTs from the edition 1, 2, and 3 gonna be valued more. Because the NFT airdrop gonna start being a thing. So the price gonna be fluctuating, but at the same time you have multiple sources or multiple places and ways how to earn those NFTs. But the idea is to have a post reveal, so to not let people see what card they are buying, but always to have that post reveal maintenance pack. You can use the example from the booster packs of, I don't know, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. You never know which kind of card you are getting, and so we are securing that via the math behind these decks. So you will be, for example, or maybe Ludovic can speak about the strategy of those decks. Can you talk about like what amount of the, for example, commons, uncommons we got just in short?
Yeah, sure. I was answering this question in the chat. I was just like typing that. So,
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to say that you never know what, or like in the, at least in the first edition where it's solo mint, you won't know the rarity, and you have no chance of making like better chance of getting higher rarity or buying higher rarity. So the average cost of the card is the $40. So for example, the cost of common should be somehow lower, and cost of the rare should be like, for example, higher than the $40 mark. Yeah, and it will be in the one shared pool. So like, the only way that you can make your chances for higher rarity to be higher is like to wait and look what people are open, but I don't think that's possible. So you will just have to hope that you will get the higher rarity. So just to tell how many of the rarities there will be out of the 1,250 cards, there will be 950 commons, 250 uncommons, 40 rares, 9 mythic rares, and 1 legendary. So really, as you go higher and higher with the rarity, there will be really scarce, and you will be really happy when after you buy the mystery card or like the solo mint, and then you go to our webpage and turn it around and open it, as you might say, and you get the higher rarity. You will be really happy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to know the percentages, but that kind of leads me to another question since you brought up Pokemon. With that, you do require mana to play. So do you guys have a plan for making a side purchase package that has just mana in it so people can get that? Because if they're buying different cards and they're trying to get the mana that they need to play the game, it'd be pretty expensive versus, let's say you have a 5 or 10 pack of mana and that's going to be $30.
I mean, the thing with mana is that you will be able to buy the mana in every edition. So like it will have different picture, but it will be exactly functioning the same. So so if you are trying to get some character or some spell, you will have to buy cards from that exact edition. But if you are buying mana, it doesn't matter from which edition you are buying. You still have the chance for the mana. So in this sense, I believe that there will be plenty of opportunity to like get it because you can get to buy it in every edition.
Okay, fair enough. I like how it transcends the different expansion volumes. So our next question is from Tinky Winky. It's a pretty sweet name. Got some demonic Teletubbies in there. Anyways, another huge part of the game is outreach and getting players to join the fun. What kind of marketing strategies do you all have in place, and what kind of partnerships have you made to boost your ecosystem? And I think we covered a little bit of this, but can you expand on that?
Yeah, maybe I was talking about especially how important is to get in touch with other gaming communities and to intertwine and try to really integrate all sorts of the communities entering the ecosystem of Tayarra. But I will rather talk about the partnerships and how it is benefiting us that we are what's a company, we will be building a product. Once we will start growing and get our words, especially on a Twitch or broadcasting channels, then we will be able to try to partner with like gaming gear companies or other gaming related let's say sectors. So we could try to, for example, partner for a particular tournament, and if we will manage to have stable viewers and have some kind of goods interaction in between the broadcasting and the community, then they will take a notes and they will not notice and mark it as a potential way of enlarging their customers. So we will try to partner for some prize pools with some gear, or in general, once the game will be more laid out, then for example with some gaming platforms, we could try to partner same way like Crypto Blades did, but we need to perform first. And the Twitch and broadcasting gonna be really important to all of these partnership talks, because they are not generally interested into crypto games and crypto market, but they are really interested into esport. So if we manage to deliver a quality product in the sense of a esport, then they will be willing to partner, which is a huge benefit for us. But we need to build.
Yeah, I think it's smart for the way you guys are setting up the expansion and the community involvement interaction. Like I said, just having that gaming channel and the announcements live and talking about strategy, I think that's a very smart move for a new game that's up and coming. And we do have another question in here, so I'm going to read that to you real quick. It's from Jack. It says, you've spoken highly of the gameplay. He'd like to know if you can do any tutorials on how you would do a match between two different people.
It is in our roadmap, and we will be releasing simply a rule book for the game, so people will be able to learn more about the interactions described and such. So this will be the main let's say, a road towards the common knowledge about the game. And we want to start building our YouTube, so tutorials, of course, should be there. Right now, we are trying to cover as much socials as we can recently on the TikTok, and we want to really utilize these platforms, and we can share from one social page to another, from one social media again. So either it is article on the card, on the different types of cards, or on the market and product, or the tutorial. It will be all important to collect as much benefits of possible of those social medias and try to learn people via them.
Okay, so with that, I know you talked about making a short kind of commercial style, get to know the characters. Do you have a plan on doing one from each species background, giving like a short video, kind of who they are, like really quick within like a minute of each species, and then kind of having them meet and then showing someone do the cards and them fighting? Does that make sense? Kind of to get people interested in the game, kind of like I said, to bust that hype through, and then also have an emotional investment for your investors and which species they want to get behind.
Yeah, it is a clever way, but of course we need to think about all of the budget and also our team capabilities. Once right now we are working on volume 2 and 3, which is edition 5 and 6 almost, and we are expanding. Right now we are progressing with the lore for necromants, for dragon riders, so we are building the world, and once we will get closer to the game, then we will be able to showcase each character, each type of card, and really the more we will be able to do, the better for us, because to showcase there is a lot, and I think our lore story is really vast and enlarging by day and day. So I think we will be really happy to share all the stories of Tayarra with the community, and let people learn about.
Perfect, thank you. And we do have some in main chat. I'm just trying to go through a couple of questions. So this one's from Jaw Wade, and currently in the marketplace, it has occurred that several NFT games have made critical mistakes when going for their economies. When the sorry, I'm not reading correctly. When the crypto market is down. So what is your experience and expertise, and how does the core team have a plan for game system ecosystem development in a down market?
Basically, we are talking about multiple sources of income. So this is at first, but I see another potential question inside this one, and it is the play to earn ecosystem and how it is not stable. Of course, if there are no players, then the play to earn is simply dried out, and once they will use all of the supply for the rewards, it just doesn't work. This is why we have tiers and why we are using entrance fees in order to balance all the play to earn aspect, because we should rather focus on the staking and getting into DeFi rather than focusing on the play to earn, because this doesn't work, and it doesn't work at most with the esport. So we got that aspect of play to earn, but it needs to be limited. We are a game that aspires towards the esport, and I don't think that play to earn is or have such a place in the esport. The esport level needs to be, or the game for the esport needs to be commented, needs to have some action, needs to have some decentness in the terms of game logic. And the play to earn isn't what we do at main. we got that aspect also, but we do not focus on the play to earn.
Thank you for that. So we do have another question from Leader, and this one's a pretty long one, so I'm going to try and summarize it. So they're saying that you basically have a very aggressive timeline and schedule for your game. And with that, with there being so many competitors in the NFT gaming marketplace and not all of them being successful, what makes your game different that will allow it to succeed over some of the other ones?
Yeah, definitely got that. I will post maybe a Medium article on our product. And hello. Is everything working all right? Yeah, good. So basically, we are trying to integrate communities of NFT collectors, gamers, and crypto investors. This is why we are focused both on esport, DeFi, NFTs, and we need to recreate the community sense in all of these, let's say, communities. And what is really important to us is, as I'm saying, trying to integrate our overlap into real world via the esport. Having such a future in our project gonna be vital to us. This is why I'm saying we are not P2E focused game, but we are focused on building the esport inside the crypto gaming and gamify, because this is how we will be able to get more on lights under the esport audience. And we know that esport is large, really huge, and crypto gaming yet is not really developed, and there are rather gamers that focuses on play to earn rather than recreating their sense of identity via playing the game and interacting with the community. So for us, it will be much more important to have broadcasted and commented tournaments with a player base or stable player base, rather than let people play for earning, if you got that. So our connection to or our tries to make people identified with the Tayarra and the vision of ours is much more important.
I definitely do think that's because the play to earn portion is just a quick turn and burn, versus you guys want people to be invested in the storyline, the lore, everything that you've established. So invested players make long term versus play to earn's a quick, I want to make my money and get out. What you got, Seattle?
Yeah, first I want to say, man, this is a massive project, and it seems like you guys have the team to do it. You're talking about esports, that's huge. But I might have missed it, but what is the initial market cap will be once you guys launch this?
Yeah. We will try to have the market cap around 120 to 180K. We will try to correlate this with the race and the total amount of launch pads. But really, I would love to fit into lower starting market cap than starting with like 500,000 or even million. That's nonsense for me. And also in the like right now the market isn't good. We need to look for market, and we need to look for a good marketing point of launch. So if we like, who loves the charts when they launch and dumps to nothing? I've seen too many projects doing that, and we want to correlate this with also our needs to stabilize the portions for the supply for the venture capitals, the private sales, launchpads, public sale, and for the community part. This will be very crucial to have such right the vesting and the portions. But simply, I would love to stick on the lower side, as I'm saying, 120K to 180K, and correlate with the race.
I think that's a very reasonable initial market cap. yeah, it seems like you guys, very well thought out and very massive projects. So, and you seems like you have a very big team to able to execute that. So yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
All right, the next question is from Nocturnal. How long do you think it will take to adopt the ability of sharing assets between games for getting into larger ecosystems such as EA or Epic Games?
Sharing assets in what's mean?
I think they're asking what's the likelihood that you guys are looking to get your project under a larger ecosystem like EA, EA or Epic Games for, I guess, more visibility?
Well, at first it is needed to partner with platforms like Steam and such to be able to deliver the game to players via such verified hubs or portals. Then maybe try in such ecosystem. But I would not really imagine simply because we need to build player base and we need to build audience to watch these players from the community. So at first we won't be focused on so getting such giants on board. That is a waste of time, but rather get the tournaments out and maybe partner with some gaming gear companies or some gaming related really these connections gonna be vital to us. The more we can integrate the project towards the real life overlap, either it is esport, either it is partnerships with these companies, the more established we will be. And this is the current problem with these gamify projects a lot, because there is missing let's say missing connection towards the real life overlap, and we need to act as a company, as a casual company that is trying to build a game and not just a crypto gaming project. We need to build a brand that is correlated with this and present this outlook towards these potential partners and market also.
Yeah, I think it's very smart to start small, like you said, build that big base, and then you can think about that in the future. That's still pretty far off. Like you said, you're making sure that you're getting everything done right the first time versus having to go back and replay the spinning wheel. So we did have another question from trying to find it again. I think it was Horlea, and they're basically asking rewards distribution. So how do you guys plan on doing that? Is that basically based off the tournament and who wins? And then will you be able to win NFTs from the tournaments, or is it going to be cash prizes?
I would say both. So for there will be some percentage of the tax going towards the tournament reward pool, also from the part of the supply dedicated towards these rewards and ecosystem. So the tournaments gonna have prize pools both. Let's say the packs won't be that, or the price. I'm sorry, the packs aren't a marketing point or a point to market around as a big prize pool, if you got me. For example, if we got the 5,000 prize pool on the Twitter announcement or whatever, then people are more incentivized to look into, to go through the process of learning the game and such, than just going to play the tournaments for the packs. So this is for the tournament prizes. For the leaderboards, I think they are going to be either distributed bi-weekly or monthly, and there will be a fees from the plane itself that are going to go towards the pool to reverse the leaderboards. And I'm talking about the PvP. So for example, if you got 2 players, they pay 1 and 1 token, and according to your tier of the fullness of your deck, you will be earning more from these 2 tokens and less towards this pool, if you got me. So we will make sure that both leaderboards and tournament prices gonna be incentivized. This is really key to market around, not just simple packs.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely important to diversify and keep people guessing on what's coming through the tournament. So that's really cool. I think that's about all the questions that we have. So I know it's kind of putting you on the spot, but I really, really, really like your guys' NFTs. Are you planning on putting one up for the spin the wheel for somebody to win? I think that'd be a really awesome prize for somebody to take hold of.
Ooh, well, I think is there Alex? Hold on. Alex isn't there, I guess. Well, we got
Alex is not here.
Well, we got some NFTs dedicated towards the giveaways and such from the first edition, but as we are currently or we haven't deployed the NFTs yet, then we should have, or we will be able to distribute just after the end of the April. So maybe if we could deal on that, that's maybe we will dedicate some of these NFTs towards all of the AMA channels we got a great time with, and we are minting 2 rare cards out of each unique card. So maybe we will get back and with some update on the project, get some price to wheel on. But right now, guys, grab a free NFT on our website. It is just for free. It will be distributed after the first edition drop. So if you navigate towards our website and just simply click on the link and finish the sweep widget, you will get a free Victor NFT. So it is like easy way to earn right now. Anyone who would love to get the NFT of Tayarra for free.
We can also prepare special NFTs for Amas.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely in the future. Like we like the AMAS interaction a lot, and as I'm saying, both as we are interacting with the communities and learning from, we plan to do updates maybe or update AMAS in some time, and we can dedicate some special unique NFTs towards the AMA sessions. So that's for the future, but right now we need to work with what is prepared, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you think it'd be possible to draw a name from the wheel and then at a later date maybe release it, the one NFT to whoever gets selected in the community? But with that, could you take our USA Crypto Group logo and implant it on that NFT? I think that would be really cool, and then whoever wins it can post it and we can have it as one of the pinned messages on our channel.
Yeah, this is possible.
Yeah, like maybe we could contact all of these AMAs we liked, or AMA group, and then make some like co-op NFTs. So and let their logo inside. Yeah, guys, like let's keep the notes, Maldon, and let's prepare for that after the first edition drop. That's a really cool way to interact. Yeah,
I will prepare it.
Nice. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Then yeah, guys, we will turn in that. but let's keep this spin wheel for the next time. Like, we will be here and we can make some another giveaway for example the second edition, and we will drop some whitelist spot also. That's a good idea as well.
Okay, sorry. I guess we got a couple more questions that have popped through since we've been talking. It's from Gabenga. And what are the sustainability plans for the years to come, and how do they overcome huge dumps in the crypto space?
Could you repeat it once more, please? It kind of went off.
Sure. So
Thank
it's
you.
basically asking what's your future sustainability plan, and then do you have a plan for the investor people that aren't necessarily interested in the game, waiting for a certain peak on your project to dump tokens for profit?
Yeah. So for the sustainability, again, you need multiple sources of income to make the big team stable. Then for the dump, well, there are always gonna be an opportunist, and also the big part of the dumping, especially for the gaming projects that are being, or at all projects that are being launched via multiple launchpads or launchpad at all, is simply wrong percentage and vesting dedicated towards the launchpad part, towards the private part, and towards the, let's say, team rewards and all of the other supply parts correlated with the vesting times. For us, for example, we got a large vesting times. We plan to do a cliff, 2-month cliff, and like 12 to 16 months for the team part of the supplies. Of course, the better price there will be for your token, either if you are a venture capitalist or such, the less tokens you will get on start, and the bigger the cliff and the longer time for the vesting there will be. So we are trying to lessen the impact of each particular sales by let's say discussed vesting time and correlated amounts of supply going towards both investors, casual investors via the public pre-sale, or even the strategic ones and such from the launchpad side. So vesting is key, and the percentages also.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's important to protect the investors that get on the open market as well. That way there's a good, stable support floor. Thank you for that explanation as well. So with that, I think that's all the questions that we have for today. But what I like to end with is a 2 to 3 minute elevator pitch. So tell us why your project is special and why you think that all of us should buy into it.
Yeah. So basically, Tayarra is trying to integrate multiple communities, ranging from gamers up to the casual crypto investors, NFT collectors, and making sure that there is a learning curve about the project, the lore story. We got the articles being published about. We are trying to learn the community about the project. We are trying to build something that a lot of projects fail to build. Two, we are trying to integrate esport with crypto gaming and to have a real world overlap to be able to make such connections with possible partners like the gaming gear company, or simply esport, get the audience of esport concerned about the crypto at all, and especially the project of Tayarra. We want to act like, well, we are trying to connect the dots between the crypto and the esport. If we will be able to intertwine these, then projects will be able to learn from us, and to make sure that there is such connection. Because right now in the real world, esport is huge, but the crypto gaming needs to be exposed towards the audience, and people learn about all of the let's say functionality of blockchain and how it works. We want to build a sustainable community that knows something about the project, and that they identify with the vision of ours and the game of Tayarra, the world of Tayarra, like by amazing stories and really dedicated team.
Awesome. I like that. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So if you guys are interested in doing a player versus player or even a solo story with an imagined background, we'd encourage you guys to check out Tayarra. Remember, this is not financial advice, and it's always important to do your own research. But if you do have any questions, please hop over to their chat. They're very willing and happy to answer any questions on gameplay, where the project's going, future developments. And with that, we'd also like you guys to hop into our chat every once in a while and fill us in with your updates as they come. This is a very interesting project, and I think it has a lot of merit, and it sounds like you've already put a lot of the background pre-planning and things like that into it. So please do keep us in mind. But with that, we're going to toss the mic to Mike so he can go over the rewards wheel.
Thank you for that, Josh. Let me pull up my screen here. That was a great AMA, by the way. Appreciate you guys coming in today. For a Sunday, and I got everybody's name on the way in and out, regardless, if they come in a little early or leave a little early, or I should say, come a little late. We had 121 on the wheel today. Going to pick one $25 win off this. And then I'm sure USA is in the main chat right now, telling you guys to go over to Tayarra's Telegram group and say USA group sent me. To keep it completely random, my daughter, like always, will go pick one of your names out of their group. It's a lot of fun. With that being said, let me shuffle up the wheel a couple of times here. And let's get our winner off the wheel. Am Trusted. Congratulations, man. You won $25. And that's it for the wheel. I will pin post all of this together probably about 10-15 minutes in the main chat with the winners. And thank you to the Tayarra group here. Again, appreciate it. This is Mike from the USA Crypto Group. You guys did awesome.
Thank you as well, and have a great Sunday, guys. Also, if you want to be part of the NFT seed sale, be sure to check our whitelist, join our channels, and have a talk about everything you have in mind. We will be more than happy to answer any kind of regarding question. So thank you guys for an amazing AMA, and have a great Sunday.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for the longer one. But I really think it's crucial that you guys are trying to get the gaming sports in there. I think that adds a whole another level to your game. So I just wanted people to really think about that.